The cameras were already rolling, but no one expected the night to spiral the way it did. What started as a routine cast dinner for Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta turned into one of the most chaotic showdowns the franchise has ever seen. Fans are still buzzing about it online, calling it the most explosive scene in years. At the center of it all, Rasheeda, Yandy, and Jasmine, three women whose paths collided in a storm of betrayal, jealousy, and one jaw-dropping revelation that left the entire room stunned. As the evening began, tensions were already high. Rasheeda walked in determined to keep her guard up, carrying the weight of years of heartbreak from Kirk's scandals. Yandy sat across the table, cool on the surface but visibly bristling, her voice sharp whenever Mendy's name slipped into conversation. And Jasmine, she waited, almost too calm, with the kind of smirk that promised she had a card to play, one that would detonate everything the moment she dropped it. The first sparks flew when Rasheeda accused Yandy of sticking her nose where it didn't belong. Yandy, never one to back down, shot back with her own biting words. Maybe if you checked your own house, you wouldn't have to check me. The cast gasped, glasses clinked against the table, and even the crew froze, unsure if they should keep filming or step in. Emotions ran high, and the family was left divided as loyalties began to shift in real time. But just when it seemed the argument couldn't go any further, Jasmine stood, her voice slicing through the chaos. "Y'all fighting over the wrong thing," she said, her eyes darting between Rasheeda and Yandy. "Because the truth is way bigger than both of you." The room fell silent. Phones were raised, fans watching live streams screamed in disbelief, and in that instant, the entire future of their relationships and the show itself hung on the bombshell Jasmine was about to unleash. And that's where everything went left. The restaurant air was thick with tension long before anyone touched their food. The cast had gathered under the pretense of reconciliation, but everyone in Atlanta knew that peace was never guaranteed when Rasheeda, Yandy, and Jasmine were in the same room. The table stretched across the floor, glistening with wine glasses and silverware, yet no sparkle in the room matched the fire. In Rasheeda's eyes, she entered with her chin high, her hair laid perfectly, but behind that poise was a storm ready to explode. She glanced across the table at Yandy, who gave a cold smirk as if daring Rasheeda to make the first move. Rasheeda inhaled sharply. "I don't even know why she here," she muttered, loud enough for everyone nearby to hear. Yandy leaned forward, resting her chin on her hand. "I'm here because, unlike you, I actually face the truth." The crowd gasped. Fans who were live streaming on their phones typed furiously in the comments, already flooding social media with phrases like "Rasheeda vs Yandy and who's lying." Kirk sat stiff in his chair, avoiding eye contact, knowing better than to insert himself too soon. He had seen this pattern before. Once Rasheeda felt cornered, there was no holding back. The energy between her and Yandy was like two matches being struck at the same time, just waiting to burst into flame. Jasmine, who sat calmly a few seats away, only sipped her drink, eyes glinting with quiet satisfaction. Rasheeda's voice trembled, not from fear but fury. "You got nerve talking about truth, Yandy. When you can't even handle your own house, you out here pretending like everything perfect when everybody know Mendy's ain't who he act like." The words cut through the table like glass. Yandy's composure cracked instantly. She slammed her hand down, rattling silverware. "Don't you dare bring my husband into this. He don't want nothing to do with your messy life." The room erupted, cast members trying to mediate. Spice threw her hands up. "Lord Jesus, can we eat first before y'all tear the walls down?" But her plea was drowned in the chaos, everyone shouting over each other, security hovering at the edges just in case things got physical. Then Jasmine's voice slid into the madness, low, calm, dangerous. "Y'all fighting over the wrong thing." Everyone froze. The sound of her glass clinking softly back on the table echoed louder than the shouting had a moment ago. Rasheeda snapped her head toward her. "Girl, shut your mouth before I shut it for you." But Jasmine only smiled, the type of smile that meant trouble. "See, this what I don't get," Jasmine said, eyes narrowing. "You always want to blame me for everything, like I'm the reason your marriage cracked, like I'm the reason Yandy can't trust her man. But the truth, the real truth, got nothing to do with me." She leaned back, arms folded, the weight of her words pulling everyone in. Yandy spat. "You always acting like you better than the rest. But you, the one who been sleeping with people, man, stirring up drama for fame." Jasmine laughed, cold and sharp. "Girl, please, if I wanted fame I coulda ended y'all careers years ago, but I kept quiet." The room filled with gasps, phones lifted higher, everyone desperate not to miss a second. Rasheeda stood her chair, screeching against the floor. "Don't play with me, Jasmine, you already destroyed enough." Her voice shook as tears welled, but anger held them back. "You've been creeping around behind my back. You've been messing up my family, and now you sitting here acting like some Kind of St. Kirk finally spoke, his voice low. Rasheeda, calm down, this ain't the place, but his attempt only added fuel. She whirled on him. Shut up, Kirk, this all started because of you. You brought her into my life, you let this mess happen, and now I'm supposed to sit across from her like nothing went down. Yandy leaned forward, fire blazing. So you finally admit it's not Jasmine's fault, it's Kirk's fault. Don't deflect your pain onto me because I refuse to play cheerleader for your broken marriage. The cast gasped once again, emotions spilling across the table. Fans watching live typed fight, fight, fight in capital letters. One commenter screamed, Rasheeda bout to swing, another wrote, Jasmine too calm, she about to drop something big. The crew cameras zoomed in tighter, capturing every flicker of rage on Rasheeda's face, and then Jasmine delivered the first blow, not with fists, but with words. If you really want truth, maybe I should tell them about that night. The night Kirk wasn't the only one sneaking around. Silence the room inhaled as one. Rasheeda froze, her eyes darting in panic. Yandy smirked, sensing blood in the water. Oh, now you quiet, she taunted. Spice shook her head. What you talking about, Jasmine? Don't be throwing hints, speak clear. Jasmine leaned forward. I'm talking about the fact that Rasheeda ain't as innocent as she wants y'all to think. She pointing fingers at Kirk, at me, at Yandy. But she hiding secrets, and if I open my mouth tonight, everything you thought you knew about this little fairy tale marriage gone crumble. Gasps rattled the room. Rasheeda's lips parted but no words came her face, pale rage clashing with fear. She slammed her hand down. Don't you dare, Jasmine, don't you dare. Jasmine tilted her head, voice smooth. What's the matter, Queen of Atlanta? You don't want them to know about your late-night meetings, your text messages, your little slip-ups that Kirk never found out about. Oh yeah, you not ready for me to talk? Fans online lost their minds, chat feeds exploding with phrases like Rasheeda cheated and Jasmine exposed her receipts. Emojis filled the screen, the studio buzzed with whispers. Cast members side-eyed each other, wondering what Jasmine really had in her pocket. Yandy leaned back, laughing bitterly. Look at you, Rasheeda, preaching loyalty when you've been lying to everybody, including yourself. I told you stop pointing your finger at me, but you wanted smoke. Now, here it is. Rasheeda finally snapped, lunging across the table, security rushing forward to block her, arms swinging as she shouted, You don't know nothing about me, don't you sit there laughing at my pain. Plates crashed, glasses toppled, wine spilled across the table like blood dripping across the scene, chaos everywhere. Fans screaming in the comments, crew scrambling to keep the cameras steady, but Jasmine only smirked, unbothered. You can fight Yandy all night, but until you admit what you did, until you face your truth, I'll keep dropping bombs, and trust me, this ain't even the biggest one. The restaurant felt like it was collapsing under the weight of secrets. Cast members shouting, security holding back, bodies tension vibrating so strong it could split the walls. Rasheeda screaming, Yandy barking back, Kirk burying his face in his hands, and Jasmine cool, calm, ready to set the entire world on fire, with just one more sentence that no one was prepared to hear. The room was chaos, bodies pushing chairs, sliding across the polished floor, the production team screaming into their headsets, security trying to hold back the storm, but nothing could quiet the fire that had erupted between Rasheeda, Yandy, and Jasmine. Flashes of camera phones lit the space as extras and staff captured what would become the most viral moment in love and hip-hop history. Rasheeda's voice cracked with fury. You think you can come here, disrespect me, my family, my marriage, in front of everybody, her words spilling out like knives. She tried to break free from the security guard holding her arms, but her eyes stayed locked on Jasmine, who sat cool as ice, sipping her drink like the center of a hurricane. Jasmine's smirk stretched wider. I don't think I know, and everybody watching gonna know too. Yandy shouted over the noise, don't act like you innocent, Rasheeda. Stop frontin' for the cameras, stop playing perfect wife when you got skeletons bigger than Kirk's closet. Her tone was sharp, her body leaning across the table, pointing a finger straight into Rasheeda's face. Fans in the comments typed things like, Yandy said, what we thinking, and Rasheeda exposed Spice, tried to jump in this gone too far, y'all need to sit down, but no one listened. Carly Red giggled, nervously covering her mouth with her hand. Lord Jesus, I knew tonight was gonna be messy, but I didn't know it'd be this messy. Jasmine finally stood slowly, her chair sliding back against the hardwood. Every eye in the room followed her. She adjusted her dress and cleared her throat. You keep crying about loyalty, Rasheeda, but let's tell the people how loyal you really been. The room went dead quiet. Kirk's head snapped up, eyes narrowing, confusion etched across his face. Jasmine, stop playing, what you talking about? She leaned forward across the table, her eyes never leaving Rasheeda. I'm talking about late nights at that studio downtown. I'm talking about texts with a man who ain't your husband. I'm talking about a truth you've been hiding for years. Gasps filled the air. Cast members whispering, Kirk's lips parted. But no words came his chest, rising heavy. Rasheeda's hands shook. She slapped the table. You a liar, you'll say anything to destroy me, you jealous, you bitter, you nothing. But her voice cracked, betraying her calm. Jasmine raised her eyebrows. Am I though? Am I lying? 'Cause I got messages, I got proof. And if you push me one more time, the whole world gonna see receipts. They can't ignore. The crowd went wild. Fans watching live started typing receipts in the chat. Yandy leaned back in her chair, smirking. Oh, this the part I love. When the truth finally slips out, Rasheeda spun on her. Shut your mouth, Yandy, you ain't nothing but a snake. You wanna see me broken, you wanna see my marriage fail 'cause you miserable in your own life. Yandy clapped her hands, slowly mocking. Oh wow, here come the tears. Poor Rasheeda, the victim. As always, tears finally streamed down Rasheeda's face, her voice shaking. You don't know what I've been through, you don't know how many times I had to pick up the pieces after Kirk's mess and still keep smiling for the cameras, still keep running my businesses, still keep raising my kids while everybody laughing at me like I'm some fool, she screamed. You don't know nothing about my pain. The raw emotion silenced the room for a moment. Even Jasmine blinked at the intensity. But then her expression hardened again. Pain don't excuse lies, Rasheeda. You standing on a platform built on secrets, and when that platform crumbles, don't blame me, blame yourself. Kirk finally slammed his fist down. Enough of this mess. Jasmine, if you really got proof, show it, 'cause I'm tired of hearing threats. I'm tired of my wife being dragged every season. The cameras zoomed in. Jasmine smirked, pulled out her phone, tapped the screen and held it up. The glow of a message thread reflecting in her eyes. Y'all wanna see the truth? Here it is. She scrolled through texts, the words bold, clear, unmistakable. Late night messages, flirtations, confessions, and a name at the top that wasn't Kirk's. Kirk's face strained color, his jaw dropped. The cast screamed. Carly Red fell back in her chair, spice covered her mouth. Lord Jesus. Rasheeda lunged again, screaming, that ain't what it looked like, that ain't real, she faking this. But Kirk's voice cut her. Rasheeda, tell me this, a lie, tell me you ain't been creeping behind my back all this time. His voice shook, anger and heartbreak colliding. She froze, her mouth opened, but nothing came. Tears streamed down her face. Jasmine smirked, cat got your tongue. Yandy laughed, bitter. Oh, now the truth hurt, don't it? I told y'all from the start, she not the angel she pretend to be. Fans in the comments went insane, typing Rasheeda cheated, and Jasmine won this battle. And this episode, legendary security still tried to keep bodies apart, but the emotional damage was already irreversible. Rasheeda finally screamed, voice raw, you don't know the whole story. Kirk, you don't know what he did to me, what I had to survive, you don't know what drove me there. Her chest heaved, her mascara streaking down her cheeks. Kirk's voice cracked. So it's true. The silence that followed was heavy. I glued to Rasheeda, waiting for her to deny it, waiting for her to fight back, but instead she collapsed into her chair, burying her face in her hands. Sobs breaking from her chest, Jasmine leaned back victorious, sipping her drink. Truth always comes out one way or another. Yandy clapped, slow and cruel. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Queen of Atlanta, exposed by her own choices. The cast exploded. Spice shouted, stop it, Yandy, enough, we all got secrets, none of us perfect. But the damage was done. The energy shifted. The alliances in the room rearranged themselves in real time. Rasheeda looked up, eyes blazing through tears. You happy now? You happy ruining my life on camera? This what you wanted, Jasmine? This what you wanted, Yandy? Y'all wanted to see me broken. Congratulations, you got your wish, the producers in the back whispered furiously. This footage was gold, ratings through the roof. Twitter hashtags already trending. Hashtag RASHEEDA exposed. Hashtag Jasmine bomb. Hashtag Yandiv's Rasheeda. The world outside buzzing before the scene even ended, and still. Jasmine smirked, baby, this just the beginning. I told you I got more bombs, and trust me when I say the one I dropped tonight is the smallest one. The cast gasped. Kirk looked like he might faint. Rasheeda's body shook with rage and fear. Yandy leaned closer like a predator waiting for the kill. Then drop it, Jasmine, if you so brave, drop the next bomb. But Jasmine only smiled, slow sipping her drink again. Oh no, I'll let the world wait a little longer. Suspense sweeter than the truth. The restaurant drowned in screams, shouts, cries. The night shattered into pieces, no one realizing that the biggest revelation hadn't even landed yet. The restaurant was on fire with noise, voices rising like waves crashing against each other, security struggling to hold the chaos, but it was too late. The cameras had already captured every tear, every scream, every smirk. The night had spiraled into something bigger than any scripted storyline, something raw, dangerous, unforgettable. Rasheeda's sobs echoed through the room, her chest heaving, her hands pressed against her face while Kirk stared at her like a man who had just seen his whole world collapse. Rasheeda, Tell me it's not real. Kirk's voice cracked, breaking the silence for a split second. The room held its breath, fans online typing in all caps. Tell him, Rasheeda, while others spammed crying emojis. The pressure in the air was unbearable. Yandy leaned back, crossing her arms, lips curling into a sharp grin. She can't say nothing, Kirk, 'cause the truth's sitting right there in front of her phone. Don't lie. Rasheeda shot up from her chair, eyes red, tears streaking her face. You love this, don't you, Yandy? You love to see me hurt. You've been waiting for this moment, preying on my downfall 'cause your own life. Miserable Yandy didn't flinch, her eyes cut cold. Girl, don't project your mess on me. I've been married in front of the world too, and I didn't fold when it got hard. You did, that's on you. Spice raised her voice, trying to calm the storm. This getting too deep to ugly, y'all. Gotta stop before somebody do something they regret. But no one listened. Jasmine placed her phone flat on the table, screen still glowing with damning words, her tone calm, measured, like she had rehearsed every move. This just part one, y'all. Think I came here with only that, please? I told you I got more bombs, and when they drop it won't just be Rasheeda shaking, it'll be all of Atlanta. Carly Red gasped, grabbing Spice's arm. Girl, she about to blow the whole city up, she holding back something major. Spice's face twisted, worry creeping into her eyes. Lord Jesus, Jasmine, what you holding? You better not destroy families out here. Jasmine smirked, families already destroyed, I'm just exposing the truth. Kirk's fists clenched, his voice low and dangerous. You always been poison, Jasmine, always stirring trouble, but this gonna backfire on you, 'cause once you open your mouth too wide, ain't no going back. Jasmine tilted her head, eyes glinting. Who said I wanna go back? I'm done being blamed for everybody's scenes. I'm done being the villain while y'all walk around acting righteous tonight. I'm turning the mirror around. The tension snapped. Rasheeda lunged again, breaking past security. This time her nails grazing across the table as she tried to claw toward Jasmine, plates and glasses clattering to the floor. Jasmine didn't move, her smirk never fading. Swing all you want, it won't erase the truth. The crew scrambled to pull Rasheeda back, her screams echoing. You don't know nothing about me, you don't know my life. Fans online lost their minds, typing this the best episode ever. Others flooding with fire emojis and gifs of explosions, the livestream numbers spiking into the millions. The world watching every second. Mendices, who had been silent till now, finally stood, his voice thunderous enough. Y'all dragging my wife's name, my family name, for what? Entertainment. Yandy don't need to be in this mess, leave her out of it. But Yandy turned on him, fury in her eyes. Don't you dare tell me to stay out, when you the one dragging me in behind closed doors. You think I forgot what you did? Don't play holy in front of them. The room gasped, jaws dropping. Yandy, what you saying? Spice whispered, eyes wide. Yandy's chest rose fast, her voice trembling with rage. I'm saying men ain't loyal, not Kirk, not mine, and we out here breaking each other down instead of facing the real problem. Her hand shook, pointing straight at Mendices. You betrayed me too, and don't sit there like you innocent. The cast erupted, overlapping screams. Kirk shouted, hold up, what'd he do? Carly Red screamed, Lord, not another scandal. Phones whipped out, recording everything. Jasmine laughed loud, clapping her hands. Look at that, the mighty Yandy finally admitting her man ain't perfect either. Welcome to the club, sis. Yandy's voice broke. Don't mock me, Jasmine. You ain't got the right. But Jasmine leaned forward, whispering, sharp enough for everyone to hear, oh, I got every right, 'cause you been judging me for years, acting like you better when deep down you just as broken, just as betrayed as Rasheeda. The room went silent, the words hanging heavy, the fans online spamming oh my god and not Mendices to hashtags exploding. Hashtag Yandy why broken, hashtag men DC's betrayal. Rasheeda wiped her tears, glaring at Yandy. You came at me so hard 'cause you miserable too. You wanted me to fall 'cause you already drowning. Her voice cracked but her tone sharpened. You ain't no different from me. Stop pretending you the strong one when you falling apart just like me. Yandy's face twisted, torn between rage and pain. She slammed her fist on the table. Don't you compare me to you. I stood by my man through prison, through dirt, through lies. I never gave up. You gave up, you cheated, you folded. Don't you dare put me in your category. Jasmine smiled like a puppet master pulling strings. Exactly, y'all both been living lies, but at least one of you finally cracked open tonight, and trust me, this is just the start. The producers whispered frantically. This footage is gold, gold, keep rolling, keep rolling. The crew focused in the energy, electric, explosive. One more word, one more sentence, and the whole thing would implode. Kirk turned to Rasheeda, his voice hollow. You broke us, you broke everything we built. Rasheeda screamed back, don't you dare, Kirk, don't you dare act like you didn't break me first. You think I just woke up one day and made mistakes? No, I bled for you, I cried for you. I swallowed humiliation for you, and still you stepped out again and again. Until I had nothing left. The raw confession shook the room. Jasmine leaned back satisfied, and there it is, the queen finally admitting. She not so perfect, maybe the fans will stop worshipping now. But the fans online didn't back down, they flooded the live chat with divided opinions. Team Rasheeda, Team Yandy, Team Jasmine. The family left divided, the audience, torn loyalty tested across the board, and then Jasmine leaned forward, her smile fading, her voice low, almost sinister. But y'all still don't get it, do you? I haven't even dropped the real bomb yet. When I say bomb, I mean something that gonna tear this whole empire to ashes. Y'all think tonight crazy? Wait till I show you what I got next. The cast froze, every face pale. Carly Red whispered, oh no, she holding something bigger than this? Spice shook her head, Lord have mercy, what else could it be? Rasheeda screamed across the table, whatever it is, don't nobody care, cause you a liar, you a snake. Jasmine's eyes flickered, dangerous. Oh, they gonna care. Rasheeda, they gonna care, cause what I got will change everything for all of us, not just you, not just Yandy, every single person in this room. About to feel it. Silence crushed the restaurant, the anticipation unbearable, the air vibrating, like the moment before thunder struck. Jasmine sipped her drink again, calm in the storm, leaving everyone trembling at what was coming next. The night refused to slow down, the energy in the restaurant, thick enough to choke on everyone, sat either screaming, whispering, or frozen in shock. The producers could barely keep their headsets straight, the crew scrambling to capture every expression, every twitch of fear or rage, but all eyes kept locking on Jasmine. Her calm smile, her steady drink, her silence in the storm, because everyone knew she wasn't finished. She had promised a bomb, and the room felt like it was already shaking before she even dropped it. Rasheeda sat slumped in her chair, her makeup smeared from tears, her chest still heaving. Kirk beside her looking at her like a stranger, like the woman he had spent decades with was suddenly someone he didn't know at all. Yandy sat stiffer, nails tapping against the table, her eyes darting toward Mendices with a rage that could cut steel. Spice, Carly Red, and the rest of the cast whispered frantically, their eyes wide, trying to make sense of what Jasmine could possibly mean by something bigger. You already destroyed her. Kirk muttered, his voice low, shaking his head at Jasmine. You came here with poison to humiliate my wife. Ain't that enough? Jasmine raised her eyebrow coolly. You think this about humiliation, Kirk? This about truth, and truth don't stop just cause it's inconvenient. Rasheeda slammed her fist on the table. Girl, you don't know nothing about truth. All you know is drama, all you do is crawl into other people's lives to feel important. Her voice cracked. I lost everything cause of you. Jasmine leaned forward, voice sharp, no baby, you lost everything cause of yourself. Don't you dare put your sins on me. Yandy cut in, so, what's this so-called bomb? Jasmine, cause you acting like you got something earth-shattering. Stop dancing around it. If you bold enough, just say it. Her eyes flared with challenge. Mendices shifted uncomfortably beside her, muttering, Yandy, stop feeding her, she thrived off this. But Jasmine smirked, nah, let her ask, cause I'm ready to answer. She set her glass down slowly, every eye glued to her, every phone camera raised, every fan in the live comments typing drop, IT drop, IT drop, IT. The silence right before she spoke stretched out like an eternity, then Jasmine's voice sliced through the bomb. Is this Rasheeda ain't the only one with secrets? Kirk ain't the only one with skeletons. Yandy ain't the only one with betrayal in her marriage. All of you sitting here judging, pointing fingers, when truth is every single one of y'all dirty, and I can prove it. Gasps exploded across the room. Spice stood up. What you mean, all of us? Jasmine, you better not be dragging my name in your mess. Jasmine smirked. Oh Spice, don't get nervous, unless you got something to hide. Spice's face twisted, her eyes narrowing. Girl, don't play with me cause I'll drag you out this restaurant myself. Carly Red screamed. Oh my god, she about to flip the whole table on the whole cast. The fans in the comments went insane. Hashtag JasmineBomb trended instantly, millions watching the chaos unfold live. Rasheeda's voice cracked again. Stop playing with people's families, Jasmine. This ain't no game, this people lives. Jasmine leaned forward, her tone deadly calm. You think I care after y'all dragged me through the dirt for years? Made me the villain in every storyline while y'all pretended perfect. No, tonight the mask comes off, every last one of you. Yandy's body shook with rage. Don't lump me with them, I ain't hiding nothing from nobody, I keep it real. Jasmine laughed sharp. You really wanna go there, cause I can tell them about what Mendices been doing when the camera's off. The room froze. Yandy's face dropped, her voice trembling. Don't you dare. Jasmine smirked. Oh I dare, cause you dared to judge me. You dared to throw stones while your house was made of glass, so maybe it's time the world sees what you've been ignoring all along. Mendices stood, his voice booming. Enough, Jasmine, keep my name out your mouth. But Jasmine's tone was ice then. Keep your actions out the streets, cause I got pictures. Messages, receipts, I don't speak unless I can back it up, the cast screamed, Spice threw her hands over her head. Lord Jesus, this woman bout to burn Atlanta to the ground, Rasheeda whispered, broken. WHS, why you doing this, Jasmine, why you so hellbent on destroying everybody? Jasmine turned her gaze on her, because I'm tired of y'all acting like I'm the problem when truth is this whole circle, toxic. Y'all point at me cause it's easy but y'all don't wanna face your own dirt, so tonight I'm forcing you to. The comments section exploded, fans spamming fire emoji. One typed, this bigger than a reunion, another typed, Jasmine is exposing the whole industry. Kirk looked ready to collapse, his hand gripping his forehead. Yandy trembling, tears threatening her eyes, Mendices pacing with fury. Jasmine stood slow, towering over the table, her voice commanding the room. You want the receipts, I'll give them to you, but I'm warning you, once I drop this ain't no going back. The fans, the families, the kids, everybody gonna see the truth, and there won't be no hiding, no editing, no saving face. You ready for that? The room held its breath. Spice whispered, oh Lord, please don't do it. Carly Red whispered back, girl, she already decided we done for. Rasheeda shouted across the table, you think you powerful, Jasmine, but you just desperate, you ain't got nothing but lies. Jasmine's lips curled, then, let me prove I'm not lying, cause the truth I'm holding gonna shake not just this table but this whole franchise. The energy pulsed, the walls seemed to vibrate, the producers in the back, nearly falling over each other, yelling, keep rolling, this is history. Every phone camera zoomed closer, millions of fans hanging on every second of silence, waiting for the explosion to land, and Jasmine opened her mouth, her words dripping with venom. The secret is this. The sound cut off in screams, the restaurant erupting before she could finish, security trying to drag her back, Rasheeda leaping forward, Yandy shrieking, Mendices grabbing her arm, Spice collapsing into her chair, hands over her head. The room spinning into chaos, as Jasmine laughed loud over the noise. You can't stop the truth, no matter how loud you scream, it's coming, and when it hits none of y'all will be standing. The episode ended, their cameras fading to black, fans left clawing for answers, hashtags storming every platform, theories flying in every direction, the world left hanging on Jasmine's unfinished bomb, her laughter echoing in their ears, the screams in the restaurant echoed long after security dragged people apart, bodies were shaking, chairs overturned, glasses shattered across the floor, but no one cared about the mess. The only thing anyone cared about was Jasmine's unfinished sentence, that last moment before she was pulled back, her mouth open, her voice slicing through the air, the secret is this. Before it all collapsed into pure chaos, the tension was unbearable, like thunder that rumbled but refused to break into lightning. Leaving the entire cast, the crew, and the millions watching in suspense, Rasheeda was still fighting to break free, her hair falling from its perfect style, her makeup smeared across her cheeks, her voice raw. Finish it, Jasmine, finish it if you bold enough, don't you dare walk out, leaving me to hold this weight. Her chest rose and fell, as if she could barely breathe. Kirk stood beside her, his face pale, confusion, anger, and heartbreak twisting his expression. Rasheeda stopped begging her. She ain't nothing but poison. His tone was sharp, but his eyes wouldn't meet hers, because deep down he wanted Jasmine to finish. He needed the truth, even if it destroyed him. Yandy was a storm, her hands trembling, her eyes wild, fixed on Jasmine. Her voice cracking through the noise, don't you put my name in your mouth again, don't you dare speak about my marriage. One more time. Mendices pulled her back, but his jaw was tight, his own silence speaking louder than any denial could. Jasmine's laughter cut through all of it, cold, cruel, satisfied. Y'all so scared of words cause you know words cut deeper than fists. You can punch me, you can drag me, but once I speak it's over. Spice leaned across the table, her voice low but filled with fear. Jasmine, what you got, girl, cause you look like the devil himself handed you secrets to destroy us all. Jasmine leaned down, eyes flashing. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, all you need to know is I ain't bluffing, Carly Red shouted across the table. Then say it already, stop playing games, you've done ripped open wounds, you might as well finish the surgery. The fans in the comments were relentless, hashtags flying faster than the producers could track. Hashtag drop it Jasmine, hashtag truthbomb, hash LHHATL meltdown, some even creating live polls, asking viewers who they thought Jasmine was about to expose next. The numbers shot into the millions. This wasn't just drama anymore, this was cultural history being made in real time. Rasheeda wiped her face, her voice trembling but louder now. You ain't breaking me, Jasmine, you think you can, but I survived. Worse, I survived Kirk's betrayal, I survived being laughed at by the whole world, and I'll survive you too. So drop your little secret, cause I'm still standing. The cast murmured, shocked at Rasheeda's defiance. Jasmine tilted her head, her smirk curling. You survived. Cause you been lying to yourself, not cause you strong, but fine if you begging, I'll give you what you want. She raised her phone again, scrolling slowly, the glow reflecting in her eyes. The secret is this: Rasheeda ain't the only one who stepped out, Kirk ain't the only one who broke vows, and Yandy ain't the only one who's been betrayed by her man. There's been somebody else creeping, someone none of y'all would ever expect. The table gasped. Carly Red clutched her chest. Lord, not another affair. Jesus, take the wheel. Spice whispered, who? Jasmine, who you talking about? Jasmine paused, letting the silence torture them, then she looked straight down the table, her voice sharp enough to slice the room in half. It's somebody sitting right here, somebody acting like they innocent, somebody who been laughing at the mess, like they untouchable. Her gaze landed directly on Spice. The air shattered. Spice shot up, knocking her chair over. You, lying through your teeth, don't play with me like that, Jasmine. Jasmine smirked. Am I lying though? 'Cause I got proof, I got messages. I got pictures, and if you think I won't air them out, you don't know me. The room exploded. Shouts, screams. Yandy, covering her mouth. Oh my God. Spice to Rasheeda, staring wide-eyed. Kirk shaking his head in disbelief. Carly Red screaming so loud the producers begged her to calm down. Spice's voice thundered over everyone. Girl, you better watch your mouth, 'cause I'll break you right here right now. I don't care about no cameras. Jasmine laughed. And that right there is guilt talking. You wouldn't be shaking if you was innocent. The live comments burned like wildfire, fans spamming in all caps, Spice exposed. And Jasmine ain't stopping. Hashtag bomb after bomb, trending worldwide. Some fans switched sides, calling Jasmine the queen of truth, others calling her a snake who needed to be banned from the show. The division in the fandom mirrored the division at the table. The family was split more violently than ever before. Mendices finally roared above the chaos. Stop it, stop all of you, this ain't TTV, this people lives. But Jasmine snapped back. Then tell your wife to stop pretending her life perfect, 'cause it ain't, and tell Kirk to stop pointing fingers, and tell Rasheeda to stop playing victim, and tell Spice to stop acting innocent, 'cause none of y'all clean. Security swarmed, trying to escort Jasmine out, but she shoved her phone into the nearest camera, screaming, y'all see this, y'all see the truth, this ain't no lie, the whole world about to see what y'all been hiding. Flashes blinded the room, the producers scrambling to cut feeds, but the footage had already gone viral. Jasmine's words already burned into every fan's memory. Rasheeda collapsed back into her chair, sobbing. She won't stop until she ruins us all. Kirk rubbed his temples, whispering, she already has. Yandy gripped Mendice's arm, her eyes wild. If she expose us, we done, you understand me, we done. Spice pacing back and forth, screaming at the top of her lungs, I don't care what she say, I ain't scared of nothing. But her hands shook, betraying her. Jasmine's laughter echoed, even as security dragged her toward the door, her voice booming. This just the beginning, the truth always wins, and when I finish y'all gonna wish you never crossed me. The door slammed behind her, but her shadow lingered heavy over the table like smoke after a fire. The restaurant sat in stunned silence, fans online still exploding with theories. Everyone whispering to each other, trying to guess what Jasmine really had in her phone, but one thing was certain, all hell had broken loose, and there was no going back. The door slammed behind Jasmine, but her voice still echoed in the room, her laughter ringing in their ears. Like a curse, the cast sat frozen, some trembling, some whispering, some refusing to even breathe. The entire restaurant felt like a church after a sermon when the preacher left. Everyone still stunned, sitting with the weight of the message. Jasmine had been dragged out, but the damage was irreversible. Rasheeda wiped her face, her mascara streaked across her cheeks, her chest rising and falling like she had just run. Miles Kirk sat slumped next to her, his hand pressed against his forehead, his eyes hollow. She lying, she gotta be lying, he muttered. But even he didn't sound convinced. The cast around them shifted nervously, their loyalty uncertain. Spice paced like a lion, her heels clicking hard against the floor, her voice a storm. Nah, she ain't finna drag me like that, she ain't finna put my name in dirt. Yandy turned her head sharp toward Spice, her eyes narrowing. You looking a little too defensive, sis, her tone dripping with venom. If it ain't true, why you shaking? Spice whipped around, her voice thundered, don't you dare play with me, Yandy, don't make me drag you in this mess too. The room gasped, the tension splintering once again, fans online screaming in the comments. Spice vs Yandy round 2, fire emojis exploding across the screen. Carly Red leaned back, her face pale but her mouth still running. Lord Jesus, I've been in some mess in my life, but this right here, this a funeral for everybody careers. The cast groaned, but she wasn't lying. Twitter was already on fire, hashtags piling up faster than the producers could count. Hashtag RASHEEDA exposed, hashtag Spice caught, hashtag YandyYVs RASHEEDA, hashtag Jasmine bombshell, the entire world dissecting every glance, every word, every scream frame by frame. Rasheeda suddenly stood, her voice raw. Enough, I can't let her control me no more. I don't care what she got on her phone, I don't care what story she spin. The truth is, I've been through hell and back, and I don't owe nobody no apology for surviving. Her hands shook, but her voice rose strong. Y'all can sit here and laugh, y'all can side with Jasmine, but I know my truth and I ain't bowing to nobody. The fans online erupted. Team Rasheeda trending immediately, supporters spamming crown emojis, others posting clips of her speech like an anthem. But Yandy wasn't moved. She leaned forward, her eyes piercing. Girl, you can scream all you want, but the truth's still the truth. You cheated, you lied, you broke your vows, and you ain't no better than Kirk. Rasheeda's head snapped toward her eyes blazing. And you think you better, 'cause you ain't been caught yet. Newsflash. Jasmine already said your man dirty, so maybe stop pointing your finger at me before you get dragged to. Yandy's face twisted, her nails tapping furiously against the table. Don't test him, Rasheeda, I swear. Don't. Mendices grabbed her arm, but she yanked away, her voice trembling. No, 'cause she thinks she can call me out, like I ain't been holding my family down for years. Her eyes glistened. I sacrificed everything for this man, and I get clowned while he out here embarrassing me. The room gasped, her voice breaking was more powerful than any accusation. Rasheeda froze, hearing the crack in Yandy's tone, her anger flickering with something else, almost sympathy. But before she could speak, Spice banged her fist on the table. Nah, y'all ain't finna let Jasmine drag me in this. I don't care what she say, she lying on me 'cause she jealous. Everybody know I built my career off talent, not drama. She wanna break me, but she can't. But her hands still shook, her eyes darting nervously across the room. Carly Red's mouth dropped. Oh my god, Spice, you acting guilty, girl, you sweating. Spice snapped. Shut up, Carly, you live for mess, you always been a clown. The cast screamed, security stepping in again to keep the shouting from turning physical once more. Kirk finally rose, his voice shaking but loud. Listen to y'all letting Jasmine win, she ain't even here. And y'all still fighting like puppets, she throwing bombs, and y'all catching them every time. Maybe she lying, maybe she not, but if we don't stick together, she'll gon' tear us apart for real. The irony of Kirk preaching unity wasn't lost on the cast. Spice scoffed. Oh, now Kirk wanna play the peacemaker after he the one who blew up Rasheeda life in the first place. Boys, sit down. The fans online agreed, typing Kirk the last one to talk about unity, laughing emojis flooding timelines. Rasheeda turned to him, her voice icy. You right about one thing, Kirk. She tearing us apart, but don't act like you didn't hand her the matches. You opened the door to her, you gave her space to crawl into our lives, and now we all paying the price. Kirk's face tightened, but he had no words. His silence said enough. The restaurant fell quiet again. Only the sound of cameras clicking, phones buzzing, producers whispering. This is history. This the highest rated moment we ever had? The air was heavy, no one knowing what came next. Jasmine's shadow still hanging over them all. Suddenly, one of the producers walked forward, his face pale, holding a phone. It's already out, he said. The room froze. The video Jasmine was holding, she leaked it, it's online right now. The cast gasped. Spice staggered back against the wall. No. Yandy covered her face. Oh my god, Rasheeda whispered. Lord, please no. Kirk cursed under his breath. The fans in the comments exploded, links flooding timelines. The bomb Jasmine promised had been dropped, whether they wanted it or not. Millions of eyes already tearing apart every screenshot, every word, every picture. The truth no longer controlled by the table but unleashed to the entire world. Rasheeda collapsed into her chair, whispering, it's over. Kirk grabbed her hand, but she pulled away, Yandy sobbing into her palms, Spice pacing like a caged animal, her face white with panic, the cast whispering prayers, the crew filming every moment because they knew this wasn't just an episode. This was legacy, this was chaos carved into television history. And still Jasmine's laughter lingered like smoke even though she was long gone, her voice haunting them all. The truth always wins. Phones buzzed in every corner of the restaurant, screens lighting up like fireworks as Jasmine's leak spread faster than anyone could process. Producers shouted into their headsets, security tried to block cameras, but it was useless. The internet had already swallowed the story alive. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, every platform lit up with the same words. Jasmine exposed them all. Hashtags piled like an avalanche. Hashtag RASHEEDA exposed. Hashtag Spice caught. Hashtag Yandy betrayed. Hashtag Lahadalmas trending #1 worldwide. Within minutes, Rasheeda's phone buzzed violently on the table, dozens of messages pouring in. Fans, family, even her kids calling, crying, confused. She grabbed it with shaking hands, but the words flashing across the screen shattered her. Further, Mom, what's happening? Is it true everybody at school talking? She dropped the phone like it burned, her voice broke, she dragging, my babies into this now, Lord Jesus my babies. Kirk reached for her but she shoved him away screaming. Don't touch me, you the reason she had power over me in the first place. Yandy scrolled through her own phone, her hands trembling her, lips quivering. The screenshots Jasmine leaked were brutal messages between Mendices and another woman. Clear, flirty, undeniable, fans reposting them everywhere. Tagging Yandy demanding answers, her eyes filled with tears, her voice shaking. You told me it was lies, you told me it was nothing, but look at this, she shoved the phone at him, her scream piercing the room. You made me defend you in front of the world and this how you repay me, Mendices stuttered. Baby, it's not what it looked like. Yandy laughed through tears, not what it looked like, you got pictures kissing her, you got messages at 2 in the morning. How is that not what it looked like? The cast gasped, Spice covering her mouth, Carly Red screaming. Lord, this is worse than I thought. Fans online typing in all caps, Mendices caught hashtags exploding again. Spice's phone lit up to her eyes, scanned the leaked images, and her legs buckled beneath her. She sank into a chair, whispering, No. The messages showed her in conversations she thought buried forever with a man linked to another cast member, the betrayal hitting like a bullet. She wasn't lying, Spice whispered, tears streaming down her cheeks. She really got everything. Rasheeda looked up, her eyes hollow. She destroyed all of us in one night. The weight of it pressed against the walls of the restaurant like the building itself was about to collapse. The producers pacing frantically, some cheering for ratings, others panicking about lawsuits, but none of it mattered to the cast. Their personal lives had just been ripped wide open. Carly Red, of course, couldn't resist. Girl Jasmine didn't just drop a bomb, she dropped a nuclear warhead. The cast groaned, telling her to shut up, but she wasn't wrong. Fans online calling it the most legendary meltdown in love and hip-hop history. Memes already flooding timelines. Jasmine crowned the queen of chaos overnight. Rasheeda screamed through tears, she ain't no queen, she a devil. Kirk tried to hold her shoulders. Baby, we can fix this. She shoved him so hard he stumbled. Fix this? Fix what? Kirk, the whole world just saw I ain't who I pretended to be. They saw the truth, they saw me broken, they saw me cheating, they saw me lying. You think you can fix that with flowers? Yandy sobbed into her hands. Spice slammed her fist on the table, shaking plates. She killed my career, she killed my reputation, everything I built gone in a second. She screamed at the ceiling, why God, why you let this woman ruin us? And then the fans in the live comments shifted the narrative, half of them celebrating Jasmine as the truth teller, the other half dragging her as a snake. Memes divided the fandom, celebrities chiming in on Twitter, throwing shade or offering sympathy. The whole entertainment industry watching Atlanta collapse in real time. Rasheeda whispered, almost to herself, I gave this show my life, my soul, and this what it gave me, humiliation. Kirk whispered back, you still got me. She snapped her head toward him, her voice cutting like glass. Boy, I don't want you, not after this, not ever again. Gasps filled the room. Spice murmured, Lord Sheeda. And Yandy nodded through tears, she really done. But the cameras didn't stop rolling, they captured every scream, every sob, every betrayal. Fans glued to their screens, unable to look away. Jasmine may have been gone, but her bomb kept detonating in slow motion, tearing apart every relationship, every friendship, every bond in the room. And then out of nowhere, Jasmine's voice returned through a live stream on Instagram, her face glowing on thousands of phones. Hey y'all, I told you I don't bluff, receipts don't lie, and tonight I gave the world what they deserved, the truth. Now y'all can hate me or love me, but one thing you can't do is ignore me, cause I just ended an empire. Her laugh sharp, cruel, final. The cast erupted again, Spice throwing her phone across the room, Yandy collapsing into Mendices' chest, Rasheeda sobbing into her hands, Kirk staring blank at the floor. No one knew what tomorrow would look like, but tonight was over. Jasmine had won, and the world would never see them the same again. The restaurant emptied slowly, but the chaos never left. It clung to every wall, every broken glass, every stain of spilled wine. Security shuffled cast members toward waiting cars, producers shouting over each other like generals in a war zone. But the battlefield wasn't the floor, it was the internet. Millions of fans watching, dissecting, and reposting Jasmine's bomb like it was gospel. Rasheeda sat in the corner, refusing to move, her hands covering her swollen face. Kirk crouched beside her, whispering desperate words, baby, we can spin this, we can tell them it's fake. But she shook her head violently, her voice hoarse, you don't get it, Kirk, it's not fake, it's real, and now the whole world knows I ain't who I claim to be. Her sobs ripped through the silence. I can't face them, I can't face my kids, I can't face Atlanta. Across the room, Yandy was a storm, pacing like she wanted to Punch the walls, her phone buzzing with endless notifications, menacing headlines. Already circulating: Mendices caught cheating, Yandy broken, they laughing at me. She screamed, throwing her phone across the floor, they laughing at me, like I'm a fool after all I sacrificed. She turned on Mendices, her finger stabbing his chest. This your fault, you begged me to hold you down, you begged me to protect our image, and this what you did behind my back. Mendices tried to grab her hands but she shoved him hard, tears spilling. You humiliated me in front of the whole world. Spice was on the opposite end, trembling with rage and humiliation, her phone showing messages she thought long-deleted conversations with a man tied to another cast member, explicit enough to ruin her reputation forever, she muttered to herself, rocking back and forth. She wasn't bluffing, she really had it all. Lord Jesus, she really had it all. Then she screamed so loud the room shook. She destroyed me. Carly Red hovered close, her voice trembling but still messy. Girl, this bigger than any reunion fight, this is career ending. Spice snapped on her. Shut up, Carly, you live for other people downfall. Carly raised her hands. I'm just saying what everybody thinking. Jasmine didn't just drop tea. She poured gasoline and lit the match. The producers huddled in a corner, whispering furiously. One muttered, this footage is gold, ratings through the roof. Another shook his head. Gold don't mean nothing. If we get sued, we just televised 3 divorces and maybe a fist fight away from jail time. But none of them turned the cameras off. They knew they had struck history, reality TV's most nuclear meltdown. The fans outside the restaurant screamed, chanting Jasmine's name, holding signs already painted Jasmine won, Jasmine queen of truth, while others shouted insults, Team Rasheeda, Team Yandy. The crowd split down the middle like the fandom itself, torn apart, the noise so loud the cast inside could hear the chants vibrating through the walls. Rasheeda finally stood, her body shaking but her voice rising. She ain't breaking me, she ain't ending me, I'm still standing, and tomorrow I'll tell my story my way, not hers. Kirk reached for her again, then we do it together. She yanked away, glaring, there ain't no together, Kirk, not anymore. Gasps from the crew, who heard it, whispers sparking instantly. Rasheeda just ended her marriage. Yandy collapsed into a chair, burying her face in her hands. I can't even fight her no more, she won, she ripped everything from me. Spice shouted from across the room, then get up and fight, cause if we don't she gonna keep walking around like a queen and we all gonna look like fools. Spice's face twisted, tears mixing with fury. I swear on my life, I'll ruin her before she ruins me. Carly Red jumped in, so what y'all gonna do? Form a truce, cause that's the only way y'all survive this, if y'all unite against Jasmine, otherwise, she already won. The words hung heavy in the air, none of them wanted to admit it, but deep down, they knew Carly was right, the only way to beat Jasmine was together. But trust was shattered too deep for easy alliances. Outside, Jasmine was live again, smiling into the camera. Her followers doubling by the second. Y'all saw it with your own eyes. They wanted to play me, they wanted to make me the villain, but tonight I made history. Tonight I showed the world who they really are, and guess what? I'm not done, I got more, and when I'm finished, there won't be a love in hip-hop, cause the whole empire gonna crumble. Her laugh rang out through every fan's phone, a haunting anthem of destruction inside the restaurant. Rasheeda's voice broke through. She want a war, she got one, I ain't scared no more. She took my pride, she took my image. She ain't taking my life. She looked across at Yandy and Spice, their eyes locking through pain, betrayal and fury. We may hate each other, but we hate her more, and if she thinks she can walk out and destroy us alone, she got another thing coming. The room stiffened, the shift cleared the enemies. At the table, slowly morphing into reluctant allies, Kirk whispered, oh Lord, this about to get worse. Yandy wiped her tears, her voice hoarse but steady. Fine then, let's fight her together, but when this done, don't you ever compare me to you again. Rasheeda nodded. Cold deal. Spice slammed her hand on the table. Deal. The pact made in fire and rage. The producers' eyes widened, whispering to each other. Season saved, we just got another season locked. With that one sentence, the cameras zoomed in, capturing the moment. 3 broken women forged a truce, not out of love, but out of war, the kind of alliance that could flip the entire game. But outside, Jasmine smiled into her live stream. Not worried, not shaken. Her voice calm. They plotting against me right now, I can feel it, but it don't matter, cause when I drop my final bomb, not even an alliance gonna save them. The night ended, not with closure but with promises of more war. The city of Atlanta, buzzing with whispers, fans divided, cast destroyed, and Jasmine sitting somewhere in the shadows, holding her phone, holding her power, knowing the world now revolved around her truth. The night bled into morning, but none of them slept. Atlanta buzzed like a city on fire, radios blasting Jasmine's live stream reruns, talk shows dissecting every frame, fans outside The hotel chanting names like it was a boxing match. Team Jasmine, Team Rasheeda, Team Yandy, Team Spice, hashtags climbing trending charts hour by hour. The empire Jasmine swore she would burn was already in ashes, and yet everyone knew she wasn't finished. Rasheeda sat in her suite, lights off, blinds drawn, her phone buzzing nonstop. She refused to touch it. Kirk paced back and forth, his voice cracking. We can do damage control, call the blogs, deny it, make a statement. But Rasheeda turned her face toward him, her eyes hollow. Don't you get it, Kirk? It don't matter what we say anymore, they already believe her. Receipts don't lie. You can spin a rumor, but you can't spin screenshots. He froze her words, hitting harder than his own guilt. Yandy was 2 floors down, slamming her hands on the counter, her voice trembling to Mendices. How could you let this happen? How could you make me look like a fool in front of the whole world again? Tears streaked her cheeks. She shoved him back when he tried to touch her. I stood by you in prison, I carried this family, I fought your battles, and now I'm the punchline. Her scream echoed against the walls. You broke me worse than Jasmine ever could. Mendices stuttered. It was nothing serious. But she laughed, bitter. Don't you dare downplay it when the whole world saw your messages at 2 a.m. Spice was in her room, pacing like a caged animal, her voice rising as she spoke into her phone. Tell me how she got them. Tell me how Jasmine got messages I deleted years ago. Tell me now. Her manager's muffled voice couldn't calm her. She slammed the phone on the dresser, screaming. She hacked me. She hacked my life. Her reflection in the mirror stared back, broken. Mascara streaks down her face. She whispered to herself, she gone, pay for this, she gone, pay. Outside, Jasmine was the calm in the storm, sitting pretty in front of her ring light, sipping champagne. Her voice sweet poison. Good morning, world. Did you sleep? 'Cause I know Atlanta didn't. I told you last night I wasn't done, and trust me, what I'm holding now makes everything else look like child's play. Her smirk widened. This next one will end careers, end marriages, end friendships, and when I drop, it ain't no reunion to save them millions. Watched her live, flooding the chat with fire emojis and chants of drop it, drop it, drop it. Her follower count doubled overnight, her name on every blog headline. By noon, producers called an emergency meeting, the cast dragged into a conference room, the tension heavier than concrete. Rasheeda, Yandy and Spice sat on opposite sides, their eyes swollen from crying, but when they looked at each other, they saw the same thing: rage, not at each other, but at Jasmine. Yandy's voice broke the silence. We can't beat her alone. She got us all cornered, but if we unite, maybe, just maybe, we can take her down. Spice scoffed but nodded slowly. I still don't like you, but I like her less, Rasheeda whispered hoarse. Then it settled. She wanted war. She gone. Get it. The producers leaned in, whispering, this is gold. Cameras already rolling, capturing the birth of an unholy alliance forged not out of trust but survival. Rasheeda, Spice and Yandy together, promising revenge. The fandom exploding online, divided between believing their unity or mocking them for desperation. Hashtags trending, hashtag Queens unite and hashtag too slow. While Jasmine tweeted a simple message: alliances don't scare me, truth always wins. Later that evening, Jasmine dropped another teaser. On Instagram stories, blurry screenshots, names blurred out, but hints clear enough to send the internet into meltdown. Fans swore they saw another cast member in the images. Theories spread like wildfire. She captioned it, tomorrow midnight, the final bomb. The post hit 1 million views in minutes, comments stacked by the thousands begging her to reveal more, the internet ticking like a countdown clock toward destruction. Rasheeda's kids called again, crying, fans outside their house chanting her name. Kirk tried to calm them, but they shouted back, Mom, why you lying to us? Why the whole world laughing at us? Rasheeda broke down on the floor, sobbing uncontrollably, the cameras zooming in, producers salivating for the drama, fans watching at home tweeting crying emojis mixed with snake emojis. The world torn apart by loyalty. Yandy stormed out of her suite, catching the cameras square. You want the truth, Jasmine? You gone, get it, I'll go live too. I'll tell the world my pain before you twist it. I ain't afraid no more. Her voice shook, but it rang with conviction. Fans immediately flooded her live, thousands tuning in as she cried, telling her side. Yes, he hurt me, yes he betrayed me, but I'm still here, I'm still strong, I ain't breaking 'cause of her comments. Exploded, half supportive, half dragging her for weakness memes. Born instantly, Spice released her own statement, raw, unfiltered. Y'all wanna laugh at me, go ahead, but I've been fighting all my life. I'll fight Jasmine too. She ain't killing my career, not today, not tomorrow. Her accent thick, her words sharp like daggers. Fans reposted her speech, calling it iconic, even while others mocked her for denial. But Jasmine sat back laughing, scrolling through their attempts, her voice soft in another live. Look at them scrambling like ants after I kicked the hill. Funny How the guilty always show themselves before I even finish dropping receipts. Her laugh sent chills through the fandom. One fan typed, she playing chess while they playing checkers. Another typed, this like Game of Thrones, but messier. Midnight loomed like Judgment Day. The cast gathered in separate rooms, waiting, praying, dreading the final drop. Rasheeda, clutching her kids' pictures, Yandy gripping her phone, Spice pacing in circles, Jasmine sipping champagne, smiling like the queen of chaos she had crowned herself, and as the clock struck 12, her post went live, a video, not screenshots, not texts, but full video footage, voices, faces. Undeniable, the entire cast implicated in ways they never imagined. The internet exploded so violently it felt like the world tilted. Fans screaming, crying, celebrating, destroying every shred of image they once believed. The empire officially ended with a single post. Rasheeda fell to her knees, sobbing, Kirk frozen. Silent. Yandy screamed, throwing her phone against the wall. Spice collapsed on the couch, whispering, Lord Jesus, it's over. It's really over. Jasmine smiled into her camera once again, her voice calm. I told y'all when I said final bomb, I meant nuclear, and now there's nothing left but ashes. The season wasn't just drama anymore, it was destruction. The cast broken, the families shattered, the fans divided, the producers panicked, but the ratings skyrocketed. The meltdown sealed forever in television history. The world woke up in shock. Atlanta felt like it had been split in half. The morning news played Jasmine's video on repeat, anchors gasping mid-sentence, tabloids flashing headlines in bold betrayal, exposed. The empire falls. Every radio station, every podcast, every gossip blog was locked on one topic, Jasmine's nuclear bomb. The cast of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta caught in the mess of their lives. Rasheeda sat curled on the floor of her suite, a blanket over her shoulders, her phone buzzing until she finally turned it off. Reporters camped outside her house, drones circling overhead. Kirk knocked softly on the bathroom door where she had locked herself, sobbing, baby, please, just talk to me, please. But she screamed through the door, leave me alone. Kirk, you ruined me, you ruined everything. Her voice cracked, shattering his composure. He slid down against the door, whispering, Lord, what did we do? Yandy was already on a plane, cameras chasing her through the airport, flashes blinding her. She clutched her hood over her head, tears streaking her face. Mendices trailing behind. We can't stay here, they gone, eat us alive, she muttered. I can't breathe with all these cameras in my face. Online fans posted clips of her breakdown at the gate, some sympathetic, some mocking. Hashtags split, hashtag pray for Yandy versus hashtag Yandy exposed, trending at once. Spice refused to hide. She stormed into a radio interview, her voice fierce. Y'all can laugh all you want, but I built my career off sweat and talent. I've been hated before and I survived. Jasmine thinks she killed me, but she only made me stronger. Her defiance lit the internet. Fans split again, half calling her brave, half dragging her as delusional, but every word she spoke made headlines. Spice trending on Twitter beside Jasmine for hours, and Jasmine, she basked in it. Her followers tripled overnight, brands calling her for interviews. Her DMs flooded with opportunities. She went live again, sipping wine in a silk robe, her voice purring. They called me the villain for years, but villains always win in the end. Fans filled the chat with crown emojis, some begging her to stop, some begging her to keep going. She smiled. Oh, I'm done for now, but don't worry, I got plenty more in the vault. The producers held another emergency meeting. Panic in their eyes, lawsuits already threatened sponsors pulling out, but ratings through the roof. They whispered, we can't control her, we can't stop her, but we can film the fallout. Contracts rewritten overnight, cameras sent to follow every cast member. Chaos turned into profit. Reality TV history in the making. Rasheeda finally emerged later that night, makeup smeared, eyes red, standing in front of cameras outside her home, her voice trembling but steady. Y'all can laugh, y'all can judge, but I'm still here, I'm still standing. Jasmine didn't break me. Fans screamed outside, some cheering, some booing, her words broadcast across every channel. Kirk stood behind her, silent eyes cast down, the image of a broken man beside a broken woman burned into memory. Yandy posted a tear-soaked video from New York, her voice shaking, I ain't perfect, but I've been real my whole life. Jasmine didn't expose me, she exposed a man who betrayed me, but I'll rise again, 'cause I always do. The comments exploded, half love, half hate, but the vulnerability struck deep. Memes of her crying spread fast, but so did hashtags of support. Spice dropped a fiery freestyle on Instagram. Live her lyrics, cutting Jasmine's name like a blade. The beat heavy, her voice raw. You can't kill me with a screenshot, I'm a queen with no crown, but I still run the block. Fans went wild, reposting the freestyle, some calling it iconic, some saying she reached too hard, but it only added fuel to the fire in Jasmine. She leaned back in her chair, scrolling through all of it, her smile never fading. Look at them scrambling like roaches when the lights come on. She whispered into her live. Atlanta ain't never gonna be the same. After me, I told y'all I'd burn it down, and now I'm queen of the ashes. The city buzzed protests outside. The studio fans divided teams, painted across cars, murals popping up with Jasmine's face, others vandalized with Rasheeda's name. Headlines screaming, "Is this the end of love and hip-hop?" Bloggers speculating about spin-offs, podcasts calling it the fall of an empire. But everyone agreed they had never seen destruction like this, and as the sun set, Jasmine posted one final, cryptic tweet, "You thought this was the end? The game just started." The world froze once again, waiting for the next blow, terrified and addicted to the fire. She had unleashed. Atlanta's skyline glowed like a furnace as night swallowed the city again. Sirens wove through traffic, helicopters buzzed over Midtown, and every street corner had somebody arguing about Jasmine versus the rest. It felt less like a TV scandal and more like a civic crisis. Fans were shocked, emotions ran high. The family was left divided, and the city had chosen sides. Rasheeda stepped out of a black SUV into a wall of microphones. The press conference had been thrown together in an hour, lights blinding, cameras clicking. Kirk stood a half step behind her. Like a shadow that wouldn't move, she gripped the podium. Her voice steady but fragile. "I made mistakes. I own that. I won't hide, but I will not let one person rewrite my entire life for views." The crowd roared, questions drowning one another. "Did you cheat? Are you divorcing Kirk? Did Jasmine fabricate anything?" She lifted her chin. "We are dealing with this privately and legally." Someone yelled, "You said privately while streaming on live." She flinched but didn't break. "I am still a mother, a wife, a woman, and I will protect my family." Then she stepped away. Kirk tried to follow. She paused just long enough to whisper back up, and the way he obeyed told the whole world the marriage had snapped. Even if the papers weren't filed yet, 2 neighborhoods over, Yandy walked into a community center full of women she'd mentored for years. No cameras allowed at first, but the crowd outside forced the doors open, and lights flooded the gym. She didn't play a victim, she didn't perform, she just spoke. "He hurt me, and I am not okay, but I am not broken. I know my worth." The women cried with her, hugged her, and when someone shouted, "But Jasmine said," Yandy raised a hand. Jasmine said, "A lot," I said, "my truth, and the rest is between me and God." The room erupted in applause. She smiled for the first time in days, but it was a cracked smile, a survival smile. Spice chose the opposite route. She took over a downtown club and turned the stage into a courtroom. Beat thundering lights, strobing. She spat a new verse, sharp like razors. "If you play with my name, I go harder than flames. Receipts, like water, they bend in the frame. You edited clips, girl, you playing a game." The crowd screamed. The DJ rewound the track twice. Fans filmed from every angle. Outside, the line wrapped around the block, people chanting her name like a rally. Politicians don't pull crowds like that. Atlanta felt it in its bones. Spice was not going quietly. She was going loudly, and the city met her volume with more, but Jasmine was ahead of all of them. She posted a trailer, slick like a movie, her logo splashing on screen, a crown tilting over an X. The voiceover syrupy, "You met the villain, now meet the vision." Jasmine presents the Truth Tour. The internet cracked open. She announced live shows, panel convo, storytelling nights, a podcast deal, brand partnerships. The comments split between worship and fury. One fan said she turned chaos into a business blueprint. Another wrote she monetized pain and called it truth. Still, the presale link sold out in 10 minutes. Atlanta begged for a second night. She added 3. Meanwhile, lawyers circled like hawks. Cease and desist letters flew from every direction. Production companies, networks, influencers, bloggers, everyone calculating risk. Producers arranged a damage control dinner. "Here, I'm still strong, I ain't breaking." 'Cause of her comments exploded, half supportive, half dragging her for weakness. Memes born instantly. Spice released her own statement, raw, unfiltered. "Y'all wanna laugh at me, go ahead, but I've been fighting all my life. I'll fight Jasmine too. She ain't killing my career, not today, not tomorrow." Her accent thick, her words sharp like daggers. Fans reposted her speech, calling it iconic, even while others mocked her for denial. But Jasmine sat back laughing, scrolling through their attempts, her voice soft in another live. "Look at them scrambling like ants after I kicked the hill. Funny how the guilty always show themselves before I even finish dropping receipts." Her laugh sent chills through the fandom. One fan typed, "She playing chess while they playing checkers." Another typed, "This like Game of Thrones, but messier." Midnight loomed like Judgment Day. The cast gathered in separate rooms, waiting, praying, dreading the final drop. Rasheeda clutching her kids' pictures, Yandy gripping her phone, Spice pacing in circles, Jasmine sipping champagne smiling like the queen of chaos she had crowned herself, and as the clock struck 12, her post went live, a video, not screenshots, not texts, but full video footage, voices, faces. Undeniable, the entire cast implicated in ways they never imagined. The internet exploded so violently it felt like the world tilted. Fans screaming, crying, celebrating, destroying every shred of image they once believed. The empire officially ended with a single post. Rasheeda fell to her knees, sobbing, Kirk frozen. Silent. Yandy screamed, throwing her phone against the wall. Spice collapsed on the couch, whispering, Lord Jesus, it's over. It's really over. Jasmine smiled into her camera once again, her voice calm. I told y'all when I said final bomb, I meant nuclear, and now there's nothing left but ashes. The season wasn't just drama anymore, it was destruction. The cast broken, the families shattered, the fans divided, the producers panicked, but the ratings skyrocketed. The meltdown sealed forever in television history. The world woke up in shock. Atlanta felt like it had been split in half. The morning news played Jasmine's video on repeat, anchors gasping mid-sentence, tabloids flashing headlines in bold betrayal, exposed. The empire falls. Every radio station, every podcast, every gossip blog was locked on one topic, Jasmine's nuclear bomb. The cast of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta caught in the mess of their lives. Rasheeda sat curled on the floor of her suite, a blanket over her shoulders, her phone buzzing until she finally turned it off. Reporters camped outside her house, drones circling overhead. Kirk knocked softly on the bathroom door where she had locked herself, sobbing, baby, please, just talk to me, please. But she screamed through the door, leave me alone. Kirk, you ruined me, you ruined everything. Her voice cracked, shattering his composure. He slid down against the door, whispering, Lord, what did we do? Yandy was already on a plane, cameras chasing her through the airport, flashes blinding her. She clutched her hood over her head, tears streaking her face. Mendices trailing behind. We can't stay here, they gone, eat us alive, she muttered. I can't breathe with all these cameras in my face. Online fans posted clips of her breakdown at the gate, some sympathetic, some mocking. Hashtags split, hashtag pray for Yandy versus hashtag Yandy exposed, trending at once. Spice refused to hide. She stormed into a radio interview, her voice fierce. Y'all can laugh all you want, but I built my career off sweat and talent. I've been hated before and I survived. Jasmine thinks she killed me, but she only made me stronger. Her defiance lit the internet. Fans split again, half calling her brave, half dragging her as delusional, but every word she spoke made headlines. Spice trending on Twitter beside Jasmine for hours, and Jasmine, she basked in it. Her followers tripled overnight, brands calling her for interviews. Her DMs flooded with opportunities. She went live again, sipping wine in a silk robe, her voice purring. They called me the villain for years, but villains always win in the end. Fans filled the chat with crown emojis, some begging her to stop, some begging her to keep going. She smiled. Oh, I'm done for now, but don't worry, I got plenty more in the vault. The producers held another emergency meeting. Panic in their eyes, lawsuits already threatened sponsors pulling out, but ratings through the roof. They whispered, we can't control her, we can't stop her, but we can film the fallout. Contracts rewritten overnight, cameras sent to follow every cast member. Chaos turned into profit. Reality TV history in the making. Rasheeda finally emerged later that night, makeup smeared, eyes red, standing in front of cameras outside her home, her voice trembling but steady. Y'all can laugh, y'all can judge, but I'm still here, I'm still standing. Jasmine didn't break me. Fans screamed outside, some cheering, some booing, her words broadcast across every channel. Kirk stood behind her, silent eyes cast down, the image of a broken man beside a broken woman burned into memory. Yandy posted a tear-soaked video from New York, her voice shaking, I ain't perfect, but I've been real my whole life. Jasmine didn't expose me, she exposed a man who betrayed me, but I'll rise again, 'cause I always do. The comments exploded, half love, half hate, but the vulnerability struck deep. Memes of her crying spread fast, but so did hashtags of support. Spice dropped a fiery freestyle on Instagram. Live her lyrics, cutting Jasmine's name like a blade. The beat heavy, her voice raw. You can't kill me with a screenshot, I'm a queen with no crown, but I still run the block. Fans went wild, reposting the freestyle, some calling it iconic, some saying she reached too hard, but it only added fuel to the fire in Jasmine. She leaned back in her chair, scrolling through all of it, her smile never fading. Look at them scrambling like roaches when the lights come on. She whispered into her Live Atlanta ain't never gonna be the same. After me, I told y'all I'd burn it down, and now I'm queen of the ashes. The city buzzed, protests outside the studio, fans divided, teams painted across cars, murals popping up with Jasmine's face, others vandalized with Rasheeda's name. Headlines, screaming, "Is this the end of love?" and hip-hop bloggers speculating about spin-offs, podcasts calling it the fall of an empire. But everyone agreed they had never seen destruction like this, and as the sun set, Jasmine posted one final, cryptic tweet: "You thought this was the end? The game just started." The world froze once again, waiting for the next blow, terrified and addicted to the fire she had unleashed. Atlanta's skyline glowed like a furnace as night swallowed the city again. Sirens wove through traffic, helicopters buzzed over Midtown, and every street corner had somebody arguing about Jasmine versus the rest. It felt less like a TV scandal and more like a civic crisis. Fans were shocked, emotions ran high. The family was left divided, and the city had chosen sides. Rasheeda stepped out of a black SUV into a wall of microphones. The press conference had been thrown together in an hour, lights blinding, cameras clicking. Kirk stood a half step behind her. Like a shadow that wouldn't move, she gripped the podium. Her voice steady but fragile. "I made mistakes. I own that. I won't hide, but I will not let one person rewrite my entire life for views." The crowd roared, questions drowning one another. "Did you cheat? Are you divorcing Kirk? Did Jasmine fabricate anything?" She lifted her chin. "We are dealing with this privately and legally." Someone yelled. "You said privately while streaming on live." She flinched but didn't break. "I am still a mother, a wife, a woman, and I will protect my family." Then she stepped away. Kirk tried to follow. She paused just long enough to whisper back up, and the way he obeyed told the whole world the marriage had snapped. Even if the papers weren't filed yet, 2 neighborhoods over, Yandy walked into a community center full of women she'd mentored for years. No cameras allowed at first, but the crowd outside forced the doors open, and lights flooded the gym. She didn't play a victim, she didn't perform, she just spoke. "He hurt me, and I am not okay, but I am not broken. I know my worth." The women cried with her, hugged her, and when someone shouted, "But Jasmine said," Yandy raised a hand. Jasmine said, "A lot." I said, "My truth, and the rest is between me and God." The room erupted in applause. She smiled for the first time in days, but it was a cracked smile, a survival smile. Spice chose the opposite route. She took over a downtown club and turned the stage into a courtroom. Beat thundering lights, strobing, she spat a new verse, sharp like razors. "If you play with my name, I go harder than flames. Receipts, like water, they bend in the frame. You edited clips, girl, you playing a game." The crowd screamed. The DJ rewound the track twice. Fans filmed from every angle. Outside, the line wrapped around the block, people chanting her name like a rally. Politicians don't pull crowds like that. Atlanta felt it in its bones. Spice was not going quietly. She was going loudly, and the city met her volume with more, but Jasmine was ahead of all of them. She posted a trailer, slick like a movie, her logo splashing on screen, a crown tilting over an X. The voiceover syrupy. "You met the villain, now meet the vision." Jasmine presents the Truth Tour. The internet cracked open. She announced live shows, panel convo, storytelling nights, a podcast deal, brand partnerships. The comments split between worship and fury. One fan said she turned chaos into a business blueprint. Another wrote she monetized pain and called it truth. Still, the presale link sold out in 10 minutes. Atlanta begged for a second night. She added 3. Meanwhile, lawyers circled like hawks. Cease and desist letters flew from every direction. Production companies, networks, influencers, bloggers, everyone calculating risk. Producers arranged a damage control dinner. Where do we go from here? The bomb has already exploded. The families torn, the alliances tested, the fans divided, and yet the cameras are still rolling, and the world is still watching. Jasmine may think she controls the narrative, but the truth is bigger than any one person. Tonight, you've seen tears, rage, betrayal, and confessions that shook every table in that restaurant and every screen in your home. But what comes next is up to you. Was Jasmine a fearless whistleblower or a ruthless villain? Was Rasheeda a broken queen fighting for her dignity, or a woman exposed by her own lies? Was Yandy the strongest of them all, holding her world together despite betrayal, or did she finally crack under the weight of it? And Spice, was she framed or was she caught? Fans are shocked, emotions ran high, the family was left divided, and nothing will ever be the same. But the future of this story lies in the voices of the people watching. So now it's your turn to decide. Do you believe Jasmine's so-called truth, or do you think she went too far to destroy everyone around her? Whose side are you really on? Are you team Jasmine, team Rasheeda, team Yandy, or team Spice? And more importantly, what secrets do you think are still hiding in the shadows? Because if tonight proved anything, it's that there is always another bomb waiting to drop. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Tell us which side you stand on and why. Don't forget to hit that like button if you were glued to every second of this chaos, and subscribe right now, because this story is far from over. And the next chapter will be even more explosive. Then the last, turn on notifications so you don't miss a single reveal, and let us know whose truth do you believe.